Morning. Morning, Alejandro. Morning, David. All right, guys. We're just gonna wait. Oh, actually, we're already five past the bottom of the hour here. um, as we wait for folks to join us here, we'll go ahead and start by reviewing the risk disclosure and remind everyone that the content is being published and distributed by the market trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. Use of this information contained is to be used at your own risk, and the company, as partners, representatives, agents, employees, and contractors assume the responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. Futures trading contains a fair amount of risk and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation or offer to buy, sell futures, options, or forex. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so now that we got the risk disclosure out of the way, just say kind of good morning to folks here. Good morning, Shadow Hunter. Good morning, Jen. Good morning, Sergey. We're going to go ahead and turn our attention to the news here and see what news events are scheduled today could potentially impact us in the market. Okay, we have Fed member Harker speaking at 10 a.m. today. We have actually a couple of all-day events here. We have IMF meetings. We have BRICS summit meetings that are taking place all day today. Now, we are leading up to a rather big news event here coming up. Tomorrow we have existing home sales. We have some bond news events that are going to take place tomorrow, and then again for the remainder of the week, there's a fair amount of news here. Okay, so but looks like today the news is relatively light. So now let's go ahead now and turn our attention now over to the markets. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start with our market that we normally start with, and that's the gold market. Okay, so I have the continuous contract up here of the gold market. We'll go ahead and turn off some of these areas here, or some of these indications, or provide my levels of interest. We're just going to shut this down here a little bit. I'll keep the volume weighted average price. And like we normally do, we start off with the daily chart and basically try to understand exactly what the market is trying to accomplish. Well, you can see here that the gold market has been on a rather strong bullish run, okay, of late. We continue to make higher highs and higher lows and string a series of bullish candles, and today is no different. We've established a rather strong, or developing a rather strong bullish candle. There might have been some that maybe would have hoped that maybe we get maybe a little bit of a little bit of a 3-bar reversal here, but doesn't appear, at least for now, doesn't appear to be in the cards. Okay. Looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay, so we have our, again, series of higher highs and higher lows. Price remains above our 233-day EMA. Okay, these are all indications that there's a fair amount of momentum to the upside. Okay, looking at the 30-minute chart. All right, so this is kind of where I start to do a little bit of heavier analysis here, since 30 minutes is generally kind of a day time frame that most look at. We can see that price is above our daily VWAP. The VWAP in this case is in blue. Trying to stretch this out here to kind of expand this and provide visibility as to what we're looking at here as much as possible. Okay, we can see here that price is indeed above our daily VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and set up our anchor VWAP on this pivot area right here. This is kind of where, gold made its turn here on Monday. So we'll go ahead and use that. So you can see that price has reacted at least one time away from this area here in the, I guess, the early morning, just prior to the open of the market here. Okay. So the next thing that I'm going to be adding here is our average daily ranges. Okay, so you can see that we've already exceeded our average range to the upside. Okay, that's could indicate further further upside in this market. Okay, the fact that we're above it, all right, already could indicate for an abnormal maybe day to the upside. Okay. We've reached it, reversed a little bit. And so, again, if we do manage to get above, 2753, then, there's really nothing that stands in the way of gold continuing to make new highs. Okay. So next thing that I'm going to add here is going to add maybe our levels. So I'm going to locate my levels. So we'll add those levels here to the chart here in a second. Let's go ahead and locate them. Okay, so here are the levels that we're tracking. Okay, here to the right. All right, there's our levels that we're tracking here over to the right-hand side. And we'll just go ahead and spot check to make sure that they're accurate. So I'm going to go ahead and add this right here. Okay, so looks like we are inside value. Okay, inside value. What do I mean by that? Well, this area in blue, this line in blue, this lower line in blue is the value range from yesterday's trading. Okay. So even though we've been on a steady climb, we still have really not moved anywhere in particular, right? So we still remain in this range that was established here in this market. So we're just going to go ahead and double confirm some of these areas here. So let's see. We got settlement price at 2734.50. We got value area high at 2755.20. We got value area low at 2737.40. We got a 4-hour supply. Actually, let's take a peek at that because looks like this will go ahead and remove. That's not in the cards here. So we'll go ahead and move that. Okay. So yeah, value area high is at 2755.20. Value area low at 2737.40. Point of control at 2753. We have settlement at way below at 2735. Okay, .6. Okay, that's our settlement price. 2734.50, I guess, is our settlement price. All right. And let's see what else that we have captured here. I was going to go back and kind of take a peek here at some supply areas on the 4-hour chart without losing my context here. So let's move back to a slightly higher time frame. Okay, and let's open up this tool here. Okay, and we'll capture what we have in the way of supply area. So this area at 2754.4, 2754.4, that is to me more of a supply zone than this. 2754.4 is our supply area. We have demand coming in at, let's see here. We have demand coming in here at 2718, 2718.80. So we'll modify this to 2718.80, 718.80. Okay, so we got average session range high, low, average daily range high. Looks like we're missing that. So let's go back to our 30-minute chart. Let's make sure that we don't lose sight of this. We'll go back to the 30-minute. Okay, so there we are. And let's see if we can zero in on our average daily range high here. Okay, average daily range high coming in at 2748.9, 2748.9. So we'll move it down here just below our 4-hour supply, 2748, 2748.9. That's our average. That's our average daily range high. Okay. All right. So these are our levels that we'll be tracking. Yeah. 2748.90 is our average daily range, which we have already exceeded. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I capture this, update my spreadsheet with this information. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so average daily range high here, Control B, and then we'll just Control B, and then Control B. All right. Okay, so what are some things that we maybe can go in looking at here? Okay, last thing I'm going to add here is our initial balance range. Okay, so and we'll go ahead and turn off supply here for a moment. All right, so let's see, our ASR is coming in higher, so let's modify this to make sure it says reads New York. Okay, so we have 2761 is our average. Just adjust this a little bit. 2761. Okay, that's our average session range high. And then our average session range low is 2740, 2740.8. Okay, 2740.8. Okay, that's our average session range low. Okay, again, go ahead and modify this on my spreadsheet. So 2761. That's our average session range high. Our average session range low, 2740.8. All right. Okay. So what are a couple of hypos here? Well, one hypo would be to wait for since we are kind of inside initial balance. Not initial balance. Yeah, we are inside initial balance and also inside value. Certainly one hypo could be to wait for this initial balance range to establish. Okay. And once we have an established initial balance range, we can wait for an extension and maybe a pullback back to IB high. Let's say in this case 2752. At least that's what that's what it reads now. We're about 40 minutes away, or 40 minutes away from this establishing here. If we get an extension to the upside, that the IB high could serve as a support area for us to participate in execution. Okay. We are coming off the average daily range high. The thing that kind of concerns me a little bit is that this value area high could offer us maybe an area of resistance where we get maybe a little bit of a pullback. But I would say we have to err on the side of the bulls, okay, and look for opportunities either off of, say, anchored VWAP or daily VWAP or IB high, something along those lines. Okay. Price is obviously a bit extended away from settlement price. We don't often stay away from settlement price for too long before price comes back down to this range or comes back to revisit that area. So there's certainly a possibility that we get up to value area high and maybe kind of traverse all the way down to settlement price before we make our next leg up. Okay. So we can stay here. We can stay in range here a bit. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm seeing on the gold market. Taking a peek here and see if there's any questions. I did capture the average daily range high. Thank you, Alejandro. That's not now present and visible, hopefully, to everyone. Okay. So I would say, again, looking at this market, we need to, find a place where we can maybe participate to the long side. And I would say that, if we can get price back down to maybe average session range low, or maybe one of these anchored VWAPs or daily VWAPs, that would be kind of an interesting area to participate. Now, given we are now coming into an area where we do have, we've seen some selling in the past, it would not be out of the question if we get a little bit of a pullback, okay, in this market. Okay. I'm seeing that settlement price is a good distance below. Would not be out of the question here if we get up to value area high and maybe pull back here a little bit. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm I think a little bit, Alejandro. I think there is a little bit of, evidence that we have here that indicates that maybe we might be coming into an area where we might find some sellers. Okay. So yeah, I would say that we need to be cautiously bullish. Okay. And I wouldn't say that that's a bullish trade is out of the question here, but I'm not really a fan of necessarily paying retail for that bullish trade either. Okay. So I would like to see, some sort of pullback into an area where I can manage my risk. Okay. So yes, I am a bit cautiously bull in this market just based on proximity of price at the moment. Okay. All right. Let's see. Next market we're going to take a look at here is the crude oil market. All right, crude oil market. We're going to go ahead again and remove some of these levels that we're tracking. All right, we're just going to go ahead and remove those, and we'll take a look at the daily chart again. I always, even though I don't trade the daily chart, I always like to look at the daily chart for market context. So you can see here over the last, I don't know, since about September, early September, we've been making some higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can locate my tool here. Okay, so we made some higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Okay, so we're kind of in an area here where we could maybe potentially head higher. Okay, we've come into an area. I would consider this maybe an area of demand here. Okay, You can see that price is responded or reacted away from it, and we're in the currently in the midst of potentially breaking maybe some price structure here to the upside. Okay, now we are below our sentiment indicator, which indicates kind of what the general direction is. We are below our 233 day EMA. I would say that our ADX indicator is a bit neutral, not really just giving us a solid indication as to where this market is trying to go. And I would say that the volume delta is probably a little bit more aligned to maybe a bullish trade, given that we have more buyers than sellers. But this ADX indicator is really not giving me a whole lot of confidence that there is a lot of strength behind this move that we're seeing in the the reaction that we're getting off of this demand area. All right, so we'll kind of shrink this down here. So again, I use the ADX and I use the volume delta not as primary indicators, okay, but more as secondary indications on how much momentum is behind whatever move that I'm seeing on the that price. Okay, price is king. All right, for me, right? So if I see price breaking structure, or if I see price stalling at an area, that carries some weight over what I see in the ADX or even the volume delta. Those are secondary indications for me. All right, moving on to the 4-hour chart, you can see that we started to make a series of kind of structure here to the upside. Okay, we got down to this demand area. We've rallied. We've pulled back. We've exceeded. Okay, now we're right at the edge of this EMA. The positive DI of the ADX indicator. Tried to make an attempt to get higher. So for now, it's been kind of stalled right at. We see kind of a little bit of a waning ADX indicator, indicating that maybe whatever direction that the market was in is kind of stalling. Well, that stands to reason, right? Because we were in a little bit of a downtrend, and now we seem to be in a little bit of a range here in the crude oil market, and that's reflective of what we're seeing in the ADX indicator. Volume delta is really not giving me any indication as to what the direction is going to be. We're seeing some overlapping to neutral kind of delta candles, really not any heavy buying or selling going on at these prices. Seems like people are generally happy with where price is at the moment and not really providing any indication as to what the direction is going to be. Okay. So let's move on to the 30-minute chart. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a deeper look here. And so we're going to take a look at, kind of widen this out here a little bit. So in the overnight trading, okay, over the last, outside of this push here that we got early in the London session, we've been kind of ranging here to some degree, okay. Not really finding any new buying, I guess, at least for now. That could change. We did get the positive DI exceed the negative DI, so there's a little bit of momentum. We have a sloping higher ADX momentum line here, the baby blue line. So that could be an indication that maybe there's some more upside to this market. All right, so let's go ahead and open up our ADR. We see that we're already at the sort of almost, if not already, at the extremes of our daily ranges. We have ADR high here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add our levels. All right, so we'll add these levels to the chart that we'll be looking at. Okay, so let's do this like this. Okay, so here are our levels that we're tracking, and then we'll spot check to make sure that we've captured them correctly. So we have average daily range high here at 7103. That's seems to be in line. We have 6890 as our average daily range low. And then we'll go ahead and open up ASR here, although technically we're not quite in the market open here, but we'll go ahead and add it anyway. So here's our ASR, really pretty much the same levels. Here we have 7109 and 6898, which is captured here. The next thing that I'm going to add here is our volume levels. So we're going to locate the tool that captures this for me. If I can find it. Let's see here. All right, this here. Okay. So you can see that our value area has been exceeded to the upside. Okay. That's usually an indication that the bulls are very much in control of the market. So we have settlement price at 69.78. We have value area high at 70.32. We have point of control at 70.04. We have value area low at 69.82. All right. So the market has just opened. So we'll go ahead and open up our initial balance range. We do see, again, this seems a bit cleaner for me market wise. So, I do see that price is above value, right? This is our value range. I see that price is up against some zones here where I could expect, but it didn't really create much of a reaction. Okay. Once it reaches these ranges, if there's really, usually we get like a little bit of reaction away from it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and add our anchored VWAP here, and I'm going to add it to the bottom of London open here. Okay. So that's again another indication that we could expect maybe some higher pricing here. Okay, we're above anchor VWAP, above daily VWAP. We're above the 233-day EMA. We are above value area high. So what I'm going to be focused in on initially is to see if price maybe does come back down to say value area high. Okay, this area right here would be a nice area for a potential execution to the upside. Okay, if price were to come back down, I do see some confluence between our daily VWAP and our anchor VWAP. So this level here at 70.32 would be quite nice, assuming that it does provide us that opportunity. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So again, it may or may not provide us this opportunity. If it doesn't, right, we have right now a rather narrow initial balance range. So we could get a break of this initial balance range and maybe extend up to ASR. Okay. That would be another kind of bullish trade in this market. Okay. So otherwise, if I'm more, I guess, bearish, well, I think I need to wait to see maybe if I get up to ASR high, that maybe provide me an opportunity where I could maybe take a reversal trade of this current market. Okay. Missing my overlay here. So I'm going to go ahead and add my overlay. So my overlay is saying that there seems to be on the higher time frame, there seems to be a fair amount of interest to the upside. Okay. So I would say that maybe there needs to be a little bit of an edge to the buyers here. Okay. We have a developing bullish candle. We just completed a rather strong 4-hour candle here. So it indicating to me that maybe there is a fair amount of momentum to the upside in the crude oil market. Okay. Checking to see if we have any questions. I'm not seeing them. So yeah, I would say right now, I'm feeling a little bit, I guess, more interested in the crude oil because I don't see any structure here to the left of me that could potentially cause this price action to the upside to stall. Unlike gold, where I felt that we're coming into some area where we do see where we might see where we've seen some sellers in the past. I don't have that same kind of area here, right? Is not to say that we can't reverse from this area because we are up against ADR high. Okay. But I in order for me to entertain that, I need to see price one break below initial balance, two get below this anchor VWAP, and then maybe we come back to revisit some of the prices that we established during London. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the crude oil market. So we have a little bit of overlapping. Looks like we're there. Looks like that starting to pick up a little bit of momentum to the downside here. My positive DI still remains above the ADX indicator. Looks like it is kind of rounding out here a little bit to the top here, and then our volume delta still remains bullish, but it looks like it's losing a little bit of steam. Okay, all right. So I think that's pretty much what I have for this crude oil market. Just kind of peeking here to see what if there are any questions on this market here. A little bit of indecision here, so we'll just have to wait and be patient and wait for this initial balance range to establish, and then let price dictate exactly what direction they want to take this market. All right. So if there's no questions, we'll move on to the NASDAQ. Okay, NASDAQ, we'll go ahead and turn off some of these levels that we track. All right. Okay, and we'll go ahead and start off with a daily chart and ask ourselves the question, what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, the market up until recently, okay, has been rather bullish. Now, I feel like the strength to the upside seems to be, I guess, tiring, I guess is the word. Okay. We're starting to see maybe a lack of extension on these moves higher. Okay. We're starting to see some overlapping candles here. We're starting to see maybe a little bit stronger bearish candles, right? These two here, we have a developing candle here to the downside. Okay. So maybe there is further, it's giving me kind of a sense that maybe there is a little bit more momentum here that maybe could extend here lower. Okay. Feels a little tired. Okay. From what I see here of the candles on the daily chart. Okay. So it seems like the bears are gaining control, I guess is probably the word I'd like to use. All right. So looking at this on a 4-hour chart, you can see that price is below our settlement. It is below our daily VWAP. Although price still remains above our 233-day EMA. Looks like we have established a bit of a supply area above. Okay, so this area right here appears to be an area of supply or area of resistance. Okay, that could offer us, opportunities maybe for further price to move lower. Okay, where could price stop? Well, I see an area here around 20,223, but I would say that this EMA here around 20,000, maybe 20,075 would be kind of the spot where I would see maybe buyer stepping in with a little bit more vigor. Okay. All right. Moving on from the 4-hour chart to the 30-minute chart. Again, we are below our daily VWAP. We are below, in this case, our 233-day EMA. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my anchored VWAP here over at maybe the close of Monday here. You can see that price remains below our daily VWAP and our anchor VWAP, below our settlement. So a lot of indications here that that may lead us to maybe further prices to the downside. Okay. All right. Initial balance we can't draw in because the market is still about 20 so minutes away from opening. But what we can add is our ADR here. So we'll go ahead and add ADR levels. Okay. So we've already exceeded it to the downside, did not get much of a reaction away from it. So that could lead to maybe a sustained, kind of auction to the downside. All right. Open up ASR. We're coming in on ASR. These levels will probably adjust here a little bit with the open, right? But we're coming down to an area where we could potentially see some support here at 20,355. Okay. This could offer us maybe an area where we could see a reversal to the upside. Okay. Let's go ahead and add our levels here that we're tracking here. So we'll go ahead and do that here. Go ahead and add those levels here. All right. So, and then we'll kind of spot check to see that we indeed have them correct. So we have average daily range high coming in at 20,545. No, actually, up here, 20,663. Okay, actually, more like, let's see, 666.75. So we'll change this to 666.75, and then we have 20,575. So 20,575 is our average session range high. Okay. And then we have 20,355, 25 as our session range low. We have exceeded the average daily range low at 20,407. All right. We're going to go ahead and add our value ranges here. So we'll open that up. So right now we've price has exceeded value, has come back to value area low, and is rallied away from it. Okay. So there was an attempt to get back into value, and it was rejected. Okay. All right. So we have value area high coming in here at 20,511. We have point of control at 20,476. We have value area low at 20,422, and settlement coming in at 20,538. Okay, modify this to 538. Okay, 75. All right, so we'll go ahead and make sure that's captured here. Okay, so we'll put this in here. Make sure that's captured this range here. All right, let's see. Just making sure that my spreadsheet reflects the correct prices, guys. Okay. All right. Now that I got that taken care of. So you can see here that we are reacting a little bit away from this value range, not value range, but this ADR zone. Let's look at my. Okay. We are reacting a little bit away from this ASR zone. Honestly, for me to really kind of embrace the longs, I really need to get above 20,427. Okay. Maybe as high as 20,440. Okay. Before I really can embrace the longs here. Okay. I need to see price break some structure to the upside before I'm able to really embrace the longs here. Okay. That would also get us back inside value. And if we do get it back inside value, there's, obviously a chance that we can come back to the highs of the market. Okay. Or high of day here. Okay. So I'm looking here to see, back up to, certainly back up to 20,000, maybe as high as 20,500. Okay. But the first thing I need to see is price to get it to close above at least 20,422, ideally above 430. Okay. In order for me to really embrace the longs here. Okay. Do we have a flag? Flag. I'm not sure I see the flag. Well, I guess, are we talking, Frizu, are you talking more like this? Is this your flag, that pattern that you're referring to? Is this what you're on the 30-minute? Yeah, I'm looking at the 30-minute. Is this kind of what you're alluding to? This is your flag. I don't know if that's kind of what you're alluding to, but nonetheless, It is, I mean, it is the area that in order for really to embrace the bulls here. Oh, from the top. Well, I mean, this is a pretty long flag. I don't see much of a flagpole. I mean, if you're treating this whole area as the retracement, that's a pretty deep retracement. So, yeah, this feels more like range. Okay. This is more feel like a rangy market. I mean, if I look at this and kind of draw a channel, I mean, I guess I could draw a channel like this, right? I could draw a channel like this, and that would kind of help me track, right? That would help me track this market, right? So as long as I remain in this channel, I remain bearish. The moment I break above this channel to the upside, that would give me an opportunity. And the nice thing about the longs, I have a lot of headroom, right, for price to move back to, right? So we sold off from settlement. Now, if we do get a rally and price break above again this 20,430 level, well, that could lead to at least point of control, maybe as high as value area high. Okay, so from that perspective, the risk reward here off of these levels is quite nice. Okay, so the question is right now is, can I get more evidence? I need more evidence of that potentially happening. Okay, all right. Let's take a peek here. So last market actually second to last market we're going to take a look at is the ES. Okay, here. So we're going to go ahead and modify this not to reflect the initial balance for London, but look at the initial balance for the regular session here. Okay, and see if we get, see why we say UK here. To turn that off. All right. Let's take a look at the daily chart. 20,000. Yeah, I would say 20,430 is it would be an interesting level to see how price reacts against that. Okay. So if we can get price above that, then I would say that if we can get above 20,430, then I would say that there's a possibility that we could head higher. Okay. Okay. So similar kind of thing that we were seeing on the NASDAQ is also kind of playing out a bit here. Looks like we are either establishing a range or maybe the beginnings of maybe a little bit of a sell-off here. Okay. In the ES. Okay. The question is, can we get below 58.60? If we get below 58.60, I don't see any reason why we don't go back to maybe the top of this value area range, maybe the top at 5,800. Okay, it's kind of what I'm seeing on the daily chart. For our chart, all right. So we'll turn off some of these indicators here for a moment. I have looks like an anchor VWAP that I drew here earlier. I see that price is below it. I also see that price is below our daily VWAP. Okay. We're going to go ahead and open up settlement. Okay. So similar to what we're seeing in the NASDAQ, we're seeing, indications indicating that the sentiment of this market remains, I guess, of late is a bit bearish. Okay. Looking at the 30-minute chart, again, we'll go ahead and open up our ASR and ADR zones. I suspect we're probably in a similar area that we discussed with, let's see here. Discussed in regard to the NASDAQ. Okay. So similar kind of thing here, guys. Okay. Similar kind of feel and look. So if I'm going to entertain a long, okay, then I need to see price get above, say, at least 58.75. Okay. 58.75 is kind of what I'm looking at. All right. I do see that price is reacting off of ASR low. Okay. But this ASR is going to get adjusted here with the open of the market here in about 10 minutes. Okay. Right. Yes. So yeah, 58.75, I would say, is kind of the level I'll be looking at, right? So if we do manage to get above 58.75, then I would say that that is kind of be the area of interest here for me. Okay, I'm going to keep it neutral. All right. If we do get above that, then I don't see why we don't reach 58.82, right, which is our for 58.85, maybe up to our anchor VWAP, maybe as high as settlement price. So from a risk reward perspective, a bullish trade at these levels would be quite nice, to be honest. We're going to go ahead and open up our value ranges. Okay. If we do get price to close back inside value, then we could get maybe a full rotation of value, which again, you can see here, our value area high is at the same level as our settlement price. Okay. So yeah. So again, similar to what we're seeing in the NASDAQ, this area right here could provide us a very nice risk reward location for a bullish trade. Okay. But I'm just not going to accept location. I need some price action to indicate, and that price action for me I would need to see a candle close above 58.75. If we get a candle close above 58.75, maybe even a break of this daily VWAP to the upside, then maybe that is the enough evidence for me to say yes, we are heading higher here. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our levels. All right, and give folks a chance to I guess follow Frizu's advice here, and to go ahead and hit the likes, especially if you find that this analysis is supporting your preparation for the market that's about to open here. Excuse me, about to open here in about what's that, 9 minutes. Okay, so let's see here. So that's kind of what we're looking at. We'll just kind of spot check some of these numbers here. We have value area low at 58.78. We have value area high at 58.99.75. We have settlement price coming in at 58.98.75. Value area low at 58.70. We already talked about that. We got ADR here at was that 59.02 is average session range. So this is 59.02, but that's probably going to change on us. So 59.02, and then what else? We got 59.02 on the top end, and then we have 58.61 to the bottom end. So we'll change that, 58.61 here. Okay, bottom end. Yeah. So again, similar view here. Okay. So if we can get price, I don't have it really at the level I'm looking at. So this is something along those lines. So yeah, if we can get above 58.73, 58.75, then I think we have a reasonable chance to maybe have the market rally on it for us. Okay. So let's see. There's a lot of overnight inventory. If you were short the market, what level will be your entry? Well, if I'm going to be short the market, I need a level where I can manage my risk. Okay, so I have, if I do not manage to get above value area low, that would be a level. I think settlement price up here at 58.98, 5900, I think is a very logical level to support, maybe a continuation move to the downside. Certainly, if I do my anchor VWAP here, if I pick this is my anchor. Well, that's pretty much the same level as the daily, so that's not really giving us much more information here. So let's maybe pick this level here. It's probably closer to London. So let's go ahead and do that. So somewhere in that range. Okay. So again, if I'm looking to short, I need to be at an area where I see evidence of selling behavior. Well, the nearest area that I have is back over near the top of the market on the start of London. Okay. So this area here at say 58.85 up to 58.90 would be an area that I would be looking at maybe for a potential, continuation. All right. So I would expect maybe some of these folks that took the market lower could step in and protect their positions. Okay. So again, if I'm a seller, I want to sell strength. Okay. If I'm a buyer, well, I want to buy in areas where I see maybe weakness. Okay. So this is an area, okay, whether it holds or not is we'll have to wait and see. Okay. But that's kind of the levels that I'm tracking and the events I need to see before I'm willing to, execute and deploy some capital to validate that. Okay. Just kind of looking at 31 on 2 likes. See. Okay, I think that's pretty much what I had question wise. So let's take a peek here at the Dow. All right, so we're going to take a peek at the Dow. Seems like the Dow is a little bit further along to what I was kind of describing here. I'm going to take a quick look. I'm gonna add my. Let's see if I could add my. All right. Well, let's quickly take a look at the daily here. Look at the daily. Daily is telling us that maybe we've come into an area where we might see some support here at 42,828. See, the volume delta is really not telling us much. We kind of have a declining DI, positive DI, and the negative DI seems to be picking up some steam. Okay. So yeah, daily seems to be bearish. 4-hour is equally, but I would say that it's coming into an area where I would expect to see some support. Okay, this area here is an area where have seen some buyers in the past. Okay, so I would say would be an important level for the buyer, especially whoever these set of buyers are. I don't think they want to see price get below this area. Okay, we have a developing bullish engulfing candle. We still have an ADX that indicates there's still a fair amount of momentum to the downside in this market. Okay, the only thing that's kind of, I guess, causing me to pause here a bit is the fact that we have a developing bullish piercing or not quite an engulfing candle. Okay. Looking at the 30-minute chart. All right. So 30-minute chart, we'll start to capture some of our levels here. Okay. So we're a bit further along, I think, in what I was describing with the NASDAQ and the ES. Okay. So we've broken some structure here to the upside. So this candle here, we've come back and tested this level a couple of times, and that's been met with some support, right? So whoever the buyer is has stepped in here a couple of times. Okay, so they're indicating that yes, this is a supportive area. Now, if we do manage to close above, say this daily VWAP again, that could give us enough of evidence that maybe price can get up as high as value area low. Okay. And then if we do manage to close inside value, well, we have a pretty nice range of value. Okay. To traverse here. Okay. If I'm more on the side of selling this market, well, I have value area low 43,113. That would be a logical area for price to be, I guess, continue to the downside. I'm going to open up my anchor VWAP here and say locate. What is this? Okay, so this we already have an anchor VWAP well above us, but let's go ahead and add one here. Okay, so I see that price is above it. So again, it looks to me like it wants to at least get up to value area low. Okay, from the current price. We're about a minute away from this initial balance range. Okay. So we see our positive still below our negative. So that could change here relatively soon. We are seeing not seeing much really um, force, I guess, delta wise. Volume delta seems kind of neutral, equal. Okay, so I'm not getting any indication on my volume delta. All right. So let's go ahead and open up ADR here. So we're coming off of ADR low. Our ASR is above us. So yeah, this could easily be an area where we continue to the downside. Okay, we've come up to VWAP and extend lower. Would not be out of the question here, guys. Okay, so the market has already opened here. Okay, there's our market open. We took a look lower, and now we have some buyers maybe have stepped in here a little bit. So again, similar kind of thing. And really, for me to entertain a long, then I would need to see price close above some structure here, right about here. Okay, I need to see a price close above, and then I have to contend with value area low. Okay, that's probably the next logical area where I could expect some sellers. So those are my ranges. I am seeing that price is pushing here, but this is less than 30 seconds into the market. So I'm just going to wait for price to kind of do its thing. I'm going to wait for the initial balance range to establish. Let's maybe make a couple of notes here on some ranges. So we have 43,244. That is our ASR high. Okay. We have value area low is coming in at 43,122. 112. Okay, that's our value area low. And then value area high is 43,336. Okay, 43,336 value area high. And point of control is 43,186. That's our point of control. And then settlement is covered at the 43,184. That's our settlement price. Okay. And then value area low, not value area low, but ASR low is at 42,904 is our ASR low. Okay. All right. So like I said, I'm going to be patient, wait for the market to do its thing, wait for this initial balance to establish. We did take a peek above this level that I mentioned of interest. I need a close. Okay, I need price to close above this level, and then maybe I'm able to use this as a reference level for an area where I might want to put my stop. Okay, maybe below, maybe initial balance, or right below this line, assuming that I get a break and close above. All right. All right. I think that's pretty much what I have for the market here, guys. So again, don't be afraid to hit the like or subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Don't be afraid to comment on how this analysis is supporting your view of the market and things of that nature. And yeah, I think with that, we'll go ahead and close off the session. I'll be moving over to the coaches room here on the Top Step server. All right, for the next hour or so, and then we'll be back online again for group coaching later this afternoon. Okay, so until then, trade well, trade safe, and trade like a market pro. All right, you're welcome, Zapadia. Okay, guys. You're welcome, Lee. We'll talk soon. Have an excellent day trading today. You're welcome, Antowell.